Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Brother Speak podcast. No intro music because I'm on the road. I'm going to get something to eat, and then after this, I'm going to work. But I just wanted to come on here and talk about a few things that's happened in this black space. Oh my! I mean, just got through having a discussion where it turned into black women in black male space. It turned into a talk about sex dolls. Imagine that. Imagine that. Oh, so let me get into it. There was a lot of stuff that went on. Let me discuss the sex doll because that was the first thing that was. It's the first thing on my mind. I was on part of the panel with DMT. They were talking about women in the black manosphere, basically saying that they were looked at to teach and stuff like that. And of course, I got on, and then the conversation went into sex dolls. I mean, having the sex doll, replacing the women, and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, wow, this is insane, man. Very, very insane. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm curious of seeing one. I'm not going to lie, but when we talk about replacing women with a sex doll, that's a big problem. I think that's got to be some kind of psychological problem, and the fact that we're still talking about this, and that panel happened, I think, almost a year ago, and we're still bringing it up, and even other people who are not necessarily part of the black man still bringing it up. I mean, yeah, the Ebony Star Network, they were bringing that up about how these guys were going after sex dolls, and they're still bringing it up. It's something. I mean, it's crazy that that could actually be a topic with in a black space. It's crazy to me that you got men who are willing to even who are willing to even entertain the notion of replacing a woman with a sex doll. I mean, what's going on in our society? But to be fair, it's a small amount of people. It's not really a big amount of people who are pushing this, but it was celebrated on that panel, and it's a thing. Now, how many black men are doing that? Ain't gonna be that many gonna do that. Because even with all the problems that they have with black women, even with the laws as they are, with the problems with child support and all that, they still want to deal with black women. So, I mean, it's going to be a small number of people going to do it. Um, I like Hood Conservatives. His take on it was using it as a trolling. Now that I thought that would be funny. But yeah, just the thought of that, I think, and actually be serious about it. Yeah, that kind of screams of a psychological problem and a lot of trauma that you have with women that really needs to be resolved. And I don't think that'd be a good way to go. And it's crazy to me. And we took over BMT panel, and BMT cut it off. He's like, I'm out. I'm done. I lost this panel. I was like, I felt bad. I was like, sorry, BMT. I'm sorry, because I was part of that. I just found the whole thing funny, man. I'm not gonna lie. I found it funny. I found it entertaining. Clever Kev. That I mean, the fact that he was going into detail, I was dying. It's like a train wreck that you can't walk away from. You can't, it's just that, man. But on a serious note, it is kind of tragic that there are guys, not just black men, thinking that you got a lot of men who are thinking that that's the way to go. I think it's finding it tragic that that's a indictment on a society that men have been so traumatized by women that they feel that this is the way to go. I, I find that very tragic. And again, that's an indictment on the society. You know, it's like we're getting closer to. I think there was one movie I can't think of the name with Bruce Willis, where all these people would go into their avatars and they didn't want to live in their own bodies. Bruce Willis in that movie, he was trying to get his wife. He was trying to actually touch his actual wife, but his wife didn't want to interact with him like that. That was a very tragic part of the movie. She would rather interact with him in that avatar world. That's very tragic. Yeah. It's very tragic. And if you see something with the sex dolls, that's what it's going to end up happening. And they made another point that well, women got dildos and these all that is on a control basis. They, they still hell they even have women fucking them with the strap on. They still want that human interaction. Now, how many? But at the end of the day, they still that where that's when I say you jumped off the porch. Now I gotta stay over here. Look. I understand women are doing the most out here. I get it, but man, when we're talking about placement with $6,000, look, I'd rather buy an escort. Nah, I'll go pay my $200, 300, 400, depending how I feel that day. No, we the sex doll, yeah. Hey, I'm curious about them. I want to see one, but replaced with a woman? No, man, I can't. I can't go there. I can't go there. That's not me. Um, not gonna diss a guy who does, but that's just not me. That's not how I roll. Yeah, that's not how I go. But the other stuff that happened, this was something that happened, which goes to show you, man. The manosphere manosphere, the black manosphere, really need to tighten up on who can lead in the black manosphere, who can't. Because you had a guy, I'm not gonna say the guy's name, but apparently he went on the B1 network and came out and said that he was sleeping with men. Now I got two different conflicting stories. One was he was sleeping with men on the behest of a woman because a woman wanted him to sleep with a man. And Chad was talking about that. He was like, well, why would anybody do that? And boy, let me tell you, I have a gay coworker, and you would think that's uncommon, but that's more common than you think. There are chicks that want to see these dudes get banged by other dudes or getting sucking other dudes' penises or having a dude suck their penis. I mean, you talk about one guy, literally, the woman wanted to see him on camera get sucked off by another dude. So that's happening. And the guy's not white, that was black. That was a black dude. So it's now the realm of possibility. I know for me, that ain't no. Oh hell no, that girl. I gotta leave that girl alone. No, ain't doing that. If she even suggested, I'm through. But man, that's not uncommon. I heard another thing that was saying that the dude admitted to sleeping with boys, which I don't know if he did or not. I wasn't there for those particular families, but I was there for the panel that he did with BMT, where BMT was talking about the title of it was the Andrew Gilliam on the Manosphere, and they were talking about this guy who came out, and he came out. He was like, "Yeah, I slept with men back in the day, but I am a heterosexual now." And I'm like, "No, bro, you are not a heterosexual. I'm sorry, you got to take heterosexual out of your vocabulary. No, you're a bi. You're a bisexual. Once you start sleeping with men, take the hetero out of your title. I'm sorry. You are now if you go specifically with men and you have no taste in women, then okay, I consider you gay. But once you start, if you doing both, no, you're not gay either. You are bisexual. Sorry, you are bi. But once you start dealing with men like that, no, bro, you are bisexual. You're not hetero. You might be attracted to women, but that urge is still there. That urge is still there. Okay. Sorry about that. Looking at a notification. But man, once you start dealing with men, you're not hetero no more. No, 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 no. You are not hetero. You are bisexual. That is, you are bisexual. That means you like both. You may not act on it, but that urge is still there. It's just like being an alcoholic. Yeah, you clean up, but you still they consider themselves alcoholic. Why? Because the urge is still there. Your brain is wired to need that alcohol, and with stress, some kind of something tragic happens, you will go right back to that bottle. Or with drugs, a drug addict, it's always going to be a drug addict. It's just that he don't follow that urge. But one thing can trigger them, and guess what? They back on the crack, back on the heroin, back on whatever. That's the same with this. once you start messing with a man, guess what? You're not heterosexual anymore. You are a bisexual. You still have the urge. And once a situation can happen, maybe you're not getting the chicks that you want, and you will run right back to what those dudes. So I don't know what he told. But even on that particular panel, there was a woman that came up. Apparently, they were dating, and they went back and forth. She was trying to say, well, the reason why she made a live stream on that guy, uh, talking about, trying to defend herself. And during the discussion, he was like, yeah, you used to sleep with you went on a date with a 15-year-old. You went out with a 15-year-old. You were sleeping with a 50-year-old. And she came around, and then she tried to spin it like, oh, well, I went on a date with him, but I didn't have sex with him. I'm like, what? Well, I was a teacher, and the boy had problems, so I went on that date with him, but he paid for the date. And I'm like, whoa, wait, what? So we have this chick who's a pedophile. She come up here trying to justify going on a date with a 15-year-old when she's 21. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And the guy brought it up like, y'all got smoke for me for being sleeping with men, but now sleeping with women. But you ain't got no smoke for this chick dating a 15-year-old. And one of the women on the panel said, well, what do you want us to do about it? I'm like, well, what do you mean? What do you want to do? Get that chick off the panel. Like, she's a piece of shit. I'm like, I don't care how piece of shit. And here's the thing about pedophiles that people don't want to talk about. They don't just stop at one. They don't stop at one boy. No, that's a sickness. That urge is there. That urge stays. So I guarantee you that chick had more than one, and none of the women would call that out, except for Faith of the BBN. She called it out. She did a live stream about that. That's the problem. People you want to get on the men, but you don't want to call out the women who don't want to call out them men. It's crazy, man. Hold on a second. Let me get my oops. Hold on. All right. So that was crazy. And she's a supposedly big YouTuber. Talking about she used to sleep with boys. She used to date a 15-year-old. And the women didn't have no smoke for her. But they're getting on this dude. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I would help the guy out. Look, y'all both pieces of shit. And then on top of that, they up there going back and forth, spilling all their business out here, trying to make each other look bad. No, y'all. I mean, mission accomplished. Y'all made yourselves look bad, but not in the way that they think. No, the more they were talking, the more we found out these two were pieces of shit. These were shitty people. You had the gay dude talking about, well, I'm part of the manosphere. The people say I was. And then when you got a guy who listens to the manosphere, talking about, I don't know you, I never met you. How are you part of the manosphere? Well, the people said, what people? He couldn't give names. Then when you really question, he said, no, I ain't part of the manosphere. I'm not part of it. I'm like, so you claim the name, and when push comes to shove, now you're gonna say you ain't. Listen, I've been accused of being SYSBM, and I immediately tell them, no, I'm not SYSBM. No, I I understand some of the points they talk about on their panels, but I am not SYSBM. But I don't carry that and then try to make a name out of it. No, this dude was trying to make a name off the Manosphere name. And then when it got called out, now look, well they put me in the Manosphere. No, you was using the name. You called yourself the stepchild of the Manosphere. That means you're trying to claim something. Don't claim nothing you ain't part of. If you know you ain't part of it, don't claim it. Even though I don't claim to be part of Black Manosphere, I don't do that. You know, I'm just somebody who listens to the Manosphere, and I just leave it at that. But that's crazy to me that you got dudes who do that, and then you got a chick who think it's okay. A black chick, think it's okay to date a 15-year-old and explain it like this. Oh, this is just normal. That's not normal. That's sick. Too many pieces of shit on YouTube. I tell you, man, black in this black space. Too many pieces of shit. And we allow these people around. Let them speak their truth. And then when you try to question them or hold them to accountable, then you want to like, what do you want to do? Get them out the fucking YouTube. Get them off the panel for one. I don't want to talk to no damn pedophile. I don't want to claim a group and then no, but I'm not part of the group, but want to take the name and try to make a name off of it. That's bullshit. These are pieces of shit, people, that should have been kicked off the panel wholesale. Kick them off. That's the problem. A lot of us want to support pieces of shit and then complain with pieces of shit making the whole space look bad. And that's not just happening on it's not just with these two. You got women who go on panels with dudes that they know don't like them like that, don't like black women like that, and then want to go on there just to argue with them and all that kind of stuff. Why are you? What are you doing? And then when somebody try to tell them, hey, sis, no, this ain't the way to go. Like going back to the whole thing. There was a panel I was on a couple of weeks ago. I put in the last podcast. I'm like, you brought this guy up. You know what this guy's about. You call him bitch, all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, sis, this ain't the way to go. Oh, you a bitch too? I'm like, hold up. Ain't this a bitch? I'm trying to keep you from going off the rails. You want to come at me. Man, that's when I know what people want to do is just yell and argue with people. We want to complain, but you want to complain about pieces of shit, but you still letting this piece of shit float in the water. It said clean the piece of shit out, and then want to complain about the piece of shit from afar. Like what? And I'm like, there's some panels, some channels that complain about the black man shit every fucking week. But they're not putting out the people that they want. They don't actively seek the people they want to promote. Okay, you don't like what the black man is still saying. I get you. You don't like what SYSBM is saying. I get you. But when are you going to pick men that want to talk your message and support them and protect them? When are you going to do that? No, we want to go over there and clown them. Or we want to bring them to the panel and clown them, yell at them, and act a fool. And then here's the thing. You want to call them sissy bims, pedophiles, all that shit, but you don't talk about the people in your community who do the same shit. They just don't claim SYSBM. They don't claim that they like girls like that. You got women who will date these motherfuckers. Straight up. Date them. Defend them to the utmost. Don't have no smoke for them people. You got dudes who will defend dudes who pump and dump and have babies everywhere. Don't got smoke for them. But got smoke for the man who want to be married and shit. Got smoke for the guy who's singing about dark-skinned girls. But not for the smoke for the guy who has an avatar and using that avatar to get on a panel to go after another black man. No smoke for that. That's why I say, I kind of agree with BMT that this black space is full of shit. You got pedos around here, men and women. You got dudes who claim to be heterosexual when they really bisexual. I'm not even going to say they homosexual, because in order to be a homo, you got to only like men. And you allow that to ride. Allow dudes who like sex dolls and allow that and celebrate that shit. Ah, man. That's why I said this black space is full of shit at times. They're their own worst enemy. They're their own worst fucking enemy. Hold on, let me get my food. All right, I'm back. But yeah, that's the thing. That whole, we want to complain about the bullshit, but we support it. We want to sit back and complain about it, but we're not building that counter. We just want to sit back and complain about it, and that's on both sides, the men and the women. It's ridiculous. You got women talking about, well, these dudes, they ain't offering marriage. Okay, so why are you having a baby with them? Well, they ain't offering marriage. Tell me you gotta have a baby with the guy. Well, the woman don't wanna submit. Tell me you gotta be in a relationship with her. It's insane. We complain about the men and women that we say we don't want, but we still want to deal with them. We want other people, the good people, to make them into the people we want. It's kind of why I support the financial abortion part, because in essence, is what it do is making men who don't want the responsibility of having a child have the responsibility of financially raising a child. Like, sex does not mean you want to have a child. You just want to have sex. That's on both ends. But people want to force, especially in this society, want to force men to have a responsibility that they didn't sign up for. And I'm against that. And you got other men who champion that. Well, it's your responsibility to raise a child. No. It's a responsibility if you chose to, if you want it. You cannot force someone into a responsibility. That's like you can't force a woman to be a mother either. She don't want to be a mother. You can't force her to be a mother. But you cannot incentivize them wanting not to be a mother. You can't incentivize women just throwing their vagina around. That's not going to work. Let me put this phone down before problems start. All right. But that's the thing. We want to do that, and that's a big problem. We want to make people responsible that don't want the responsibility, and then get mad because they don't want the responsibility. No, just find the responsible people, the ones that want to build a community. Go find them, support them, protect them. I said on the panel with BMT, look, if you want the women to rally for you as men, guess what? You got to find those women, support them, and protect them. I'm not saying if they in a debate, if the men ain't challenging them on certain things to cape for them. No, I'm not saying that. But at least protect them when they go too far. If they're going too far left, they doing all that flirting and all that dumb shit, talking sexual to them. Cut that shit off. That got to be cut off. Because what's going to happen, they're not going to want to protect you. And you're going to make an enemy. And that's what I'm with. We need to stop making enemies. We need to start getting the good people that want to be with us, want to support us, whatever we want to do. Whether you want to save the community, let it burn, whatever the fuck you want to do. But we got to find people that want to do that, and we got to be able to want to support them and protect them from others. That's what we need to do as Black community, because we do not do that at all. We don't support each other. We don't protect each other. And then when these people come out with the woodwork, being SYFBM, swirlers, Black Women's Field, Black feminists, these coons, all that is a problem of the community, a community that don't protect their own, that don't support their own. You let all these abuses, that's why you got a lot of these pedophiles, these guys who claim to be hetero, but they ain't, because we don't protect each other. We don't watch out for each other. And this is what you get. Because everybody wants control and nobody wants to build. That's the reality. So that's it for me. I'm getting off this thing. I'm going to go eat. And then I got to go to work. But I just wanted to make this quick because it's just, I've seen a lot of stuff going on and people complain about it, but they don't really want to do anything about it. They just want to sit back and complain and call names and all that kind of. And to me, it's like, look, if you ain't gonna do nothing about it, shut the fuck up about it. If you're not gonna really put in the work to do something about it, then shut the fuck up about it. The one person I like the most is Ty City, the logic spirit. He don't talk about relationships. He does his own thing. If men really want a all male space, go to the logic sphere. He don't let women on there. But you know what men would do? They shit on him. They shit on him for his stance. He was the main one was against Jessica X and all these women and men. They shitted on him because they want their particular woman. So that's why I'm with it. Like, look, if y'all want the women around, hey, but be careful what you wish for. You're going to get it, and you're getting it right now. You want to let a lot of these dudes in because, well, he's a man. Okay. Now you got gay men claiming to be manosphere. Okay. Got women you want to be in with the sisterhood. Now you got women who are pedophiles in your group. Now what you gonna do about it now? And now you got dudes one dudes to support sex dolls. This is what you get when you don't support your message. This is what you get when you don't protect your group from outsiders. And this is what you get. Now it's just confusion and chaos. And that's it. I'm out. Y'all have a good day.